What is going on, everybody? Zac Graham here for FTN Daily, talking about Game Week 2 on the MLB side of things over on Sorare. If you're not really familiar with what Sorare is yet, let me tell you a little bit about them before we kind of dive into building our lineups here for Week 2. Sorare is a sports fantasy game and marketplace featuring officially licensed digital player cards from the NBA, MLB, and global football. With Sorare, you build and own teams, buying, selling, collecting, and trading officially licensed digital player cards, and compete with them in fantasy games to win rewards week over week and season over season, just like professional sports owners and general managers. Rewards for these contests include player cards and other real life rewards, such as tickets to MLB games, autographed jerseys, gift cards, VIP experiences, merchandise, and more. Bringing the physical and digital world together. Sorare is the future of fantasy sports, taking ownership to the next level. A true dynasty game in which players own their cards forever. And that is true because I see some of these season 1 MLB cards here in the marketplace. I didn't know that Sorare had MLB last season. And I think I can give myself a pass on that for good reason. It was not a full season on Sorare last year. So this is the first full MLB season on Sorare. So I just got started before game week 1. Encourage you to sign up through the link in the description of this video. And the benefit for you of using that link is that if you purchase 5 cards here on the primary marketplace, you're going to get a 6th limited card free. But maybe just getting ahead of myself here, let's talk through building, or I guess I should say starting your MLB collection here on Sorare. We're sitting here, the new card auctions, and again, I mentioned I did draft my common team. So when you sign up for the MLB side of things here at Sorare, you're going to I guess I just say the first step is to build your team out. You're going to draft a free set of common cards. You can see I've got 11 cards here. You actually draft 10 cards through that initial process. That Nate Lowe right there. I'm a Rangers fan, so it was nice. Pulled a Nate Lowe as my reward here after game week 1. So I will take that. Homerism abound. One thing before we kind of dive into the draft process, you cannot buy, sell, or trade these common cards. Obviously, with the limited, rare, super rare, and unique cards, those scarcity cards, as they call them on Sorare, those obviously bought, sold, traded on the marketplace, auctions, things like that. So when you go into the draft process, you're going to get 120 salary cap points, and each player that's available, each digital player card that's available is assigned a salary. So you obviously have to stay within those constraints, and you're going to draft, again, 10 players, 3 starting pitchers, a relief pitcher, 2 corner infielders, 2 middle infielders, and that middle infielder designation also includes catchers, 2 outfielders, and I believe that takes you up to 10 there. And then when you enter a lineup, so I guess we can click here on the upcoming tournaments here for week 2. All these common contests are going to be available to you right away. And when you enter a lineup, it consists of 7 positions. So I guess we can go ahead and pull this up here. You can see you need a starting pitcher, a relief pitcher, a corner infielder, a middle infielder, outfielder. Then your extra hitter, that's any hitter across all the positions. Then your flex, that flex can also be, you see Snell and Hunter Green, Giolito, my 3 pitchers, they're available to be put in that flex spot. So we'll enter a lineup here in a little bit. And some players, I guess, Ohtani probably stands out as the top guy. Some players can be eligible for more than one position. So that's a nice little wrinkle that they've added in there for the MLB side of things. Once you have drafted that team, you obviously come over to the play tab here, and you look at these tournaments and you start competing. Game weeks in MLB are the same as the NBA and soccer side of things here. You've got a game week running from Monday to Thursday, and then the next game week of that calendar week is Friday to Sunday. So Monday here on the MLB side, you got to make sure some of these days when MLB, they've got the early afternoon games just on a day like today. We're recording this Monday morning. We've got about 2.5 hours till game week 2 starts. So make sure you're in tune with the start times for these game weeks, because those are going to vary more here on the MLB side of things compared to NBA. As you get more advanced in the game and you expand your collections with more card scarcities, you'll become eligible for more contests. So, you see this majors contest has been unlocked for me here. You can use common and limited cards in that majors contest, and you'll see the bonus here. Managers who play limited cards in this contest get a 40% scoring bonus on all limited cards. So I'm not diving into that majors contest just yet, but you purchase or win enough limited cards through Sorare MLB, you'll unlock all these limited contests. You see that some of these contests are not just gated for higher rarity tiers, but some are specialty contests like these, limited AL only, limited NL only, and you see that going up the tiers. So again, it's just an added layer, an extra cool wrinkle to think about when you're managing your team or you're scouring the marketplace for good deals, good buys, thinking about the different types of contests you can enter. And another thing I'll mention, these prize pools are variable. They will scale up or down based on how many the demand in those contests week over week. Sorare is pretty good about adjusting their prize pools and their game types. So just make sure you keep an eye on the changes here in the different tournaments each game week. Another thing I guess, on the soccer side of things, it took me a little while to understand the scoring for MLB here. The Sorare player scores track nearly 24 stats. So really every at-bat, whether we're talking pitchers or hitters, every at-bat is an opportunity for our player cards to score points. So it's definitely getting me more into the baseball side of things. Anybody at FTN that knows, I'm the hoops head here, right? I eat, breathe, live, bleed basketball. But even through just one game week here, I'm keeping track of all the MLB scores, where my guys are they in the lineup, all this stuff. It's just a great way to immerse yourself either deeper in a sport you already love, or maybe rekindle your love for a sport like I am now with my Rangers, who undefeated through that first series. Take that, Philly. Obviously at the end of every game week, just like our other Sorare sports, you can win rewards. And like I said at the top, the rewards can include more scarcity cards or things like MLB tickets, merch, VIP experiences. So those are always things to look out for. In addition to rewards too, your player cards will earn experience points. You can see here that like my all my cards, I guess, right now through 1 week have that plus 5% bonus. So no XP bonuses or rarity bonuses yet for any of my MLB cards, but that XP bonus that's added to a player's Sorare score each week is a pretty cool wrinkle to ensure that we're not, chopping a pot here in one of these big tournaments. If there's just like a unique card up top or a super rare card, that there's usually not going to be ties here because of the differences in XP. Even if you enter the same lineup, typically there's some variability in the final scores there. I would also say for those who are like me, just looking at common cards for now, utilize this card swap feature here. Every 24 hours, you can swap one common card out of your collection, and Sorare will present you with 5 other options to swap that card out permanently. And I don't think that's something that every time I go for a swap, even on the NBA side, but certainly here on the MLB side of things, it doesn't mean if you select a swap. Let's say I wanted to change up my starting pitchers here. I've got Snell, Green, and Giolito. If I wanted to get rid of that Giolito and try to bolster another position, let's say relief pitcher. Right now I just have one relief pitcher in Jonathan Hernandez there for my Rangers. Another homer pick here by me. You'll get those 5 selections that Sorare gives you, but you don't have to choose one of those 5. You can cancel the swap and keep your initial cards. So I tried with that with Giolito last night. Didn't see anything I really wanted to make that swap with, so I ended up holding on to him. But again, just to curate your common collection, I would always try to at least see what you can get for a potential swap. even if you don't always make that swap on a daily basis. Let's go ahead and enter a lineup, because if you look at the market right now, my recommendation for the market is to, if you're trying to pick up some of these limited cards, you see the rares here, the super rares. Looks like 3 uniques also on auction. Again, uniques are one of ones. There will only be one, Rich Hill here. And you can see the bids, very expensive for these unique cards, and for good reason. If you own one of these unique cards, you are the only user on Sorare that can play that card in a unique contest. So to me right now, building out your scarcity card collection through the auction feature, I think, is probably a more cost-effective way to attack Sorare in those higher tier, higher scarcity contests at this point, because again, not a full season last year of Sorare MLB. So there is, pardon the use of the word limited here, but there are a limited number of cards available on that primary market. You look at somebody like, I don't know, let's say Paul Goldschmidt, right? So we look at Goldschmidt, search by lowest price. You can see these cards here. Those are from last year. You see the 2022 on that card. You see the XP bonus are lower here for the cards that were in the past. So just one limited Goldschmidt card here on the market, one super rare there, and you can see the prices. I mean, almost $600 for a limited Paul Goldschmidt. I know he's good, he's former MVP, right? But once these cards become more, or there are more of these cards won through the auction process and then put on this primary market for direct manager sales, the prices on a lot of these players are going to come down. So maybe Paul Goldschmidt, with the pedigree that he has, even at the advanced age, maybe that's not the best example. But again, I think it does show the lack of availability of these cards so early in the season. So again, if you're trying to go for some of those scarcity cards, I would utilize this bid feature. You can see right now, 520 limited cards up for auction, over 100 rare, 26 super rare, and again, those 3 uniques. So as we continue through this season, we will, of course, look at some of, just like on the NBA side, some of the favorite buys for the upcoming game week, or, just looking ahead, maybe potential values. But this week, let's just close it out building a common lineup here. And the difference is in these common contests, you can see prospect, minors, and common all-star. And then, of course, the majors contest is also unlocked there for me. What do these contests mean? Like, you can go and click on those little information icons next to each contest, but just a quick breakdown without going through those. Prospect is how you start your journey as a Sorare manager. This is what I played in game week 1. It's just a beginners only competition, only newcomers, only managers participating in their first game week are eligible for the prospect contest. And you can see there 100% of the entries win a common card reward. Lucky enough to get that tier 2. Got that Nathaniel Lowe for myself. So a good showing there in week 1, if I do say so myself. That minors contest right below prospect. Again, only common cards in terms of the cards that are eligible. And for managers, the eligibility here is managers who have already competed in the prospect and have not competed in a scarcity contest. So no limited, rare, super rare, unique competition. And you can see the rewards here in the minors, limited and common cards. But then you will no longer be able to participate in the minors competition as soon as you win a limited card. And that's for any competition. So if you buy limited cards on the marketplace and you compete in one of those limited contests and you win a limited card, then you are no longer allowed to play in this minors contest. So, I guess choose the time you win your rewards wisely. The majors contest just below that, we talked about that a little bit. Limited cards in that contest receive a 40% scoring bonus. So again, if you don't have limited cards, I would avoid entering that majors contest, because only 200 limited cards available as rewards. You're likely not going to be able to compete for those top spots without that 40% scoring bonus on limited cards. You see 3,600 people entered in that contest already. So I'm going to, again, avoid the majors for now. You see that common all-star contest kind of closing it out, the 4 contests that I have available or that you'll have available as a new manager. All managers eligible for this one. So you can't really like age out, so to speak, of this common all-star contest. This is the common contest that will be available to all managers, no matter the size of your collection or your history in terms of winning rewards. So this week I'm going to enter that minors contest. There are twice the number of limited rewards and, almost twice the number of entries, but I know that this minors contest is all beginners like me. So we'll go ahead and enter here. You can see on the screen my probable pitchers this week. This game week, Snell, Hunter Green, Blake Snell taking on the Diamondbacks, it looks like, and then Hunter Green going up against the Cubs. I'm going to go ahead and slot in Blake Snell. There's no salary cap here in this common contest. So again, only Hernandez, my only relief pitcher. So I'm definitely looking to add a relief pitcher to my depth here as soon as I can. Let's go ahead and use that Nate Lowe reward. I'll get my Rangers guy in there, pair those 2 Rangers, I guess. Sal Perez, obviously one of the better power catchers that there are in the league. So I'll go ahead and put Sal in there. Chris Bryant there in Colorado. Let's actually see, are they home this week? Because obviously you play those Rockies at Coors, so on the road, but then coming home later in the game week on Thursday to face the Nats. So not a great week of matchups there, probably, or to start the week, this 2-game set with the Dodgers, but I'll still go with Chris Bryant there in the outfield. Now we've got our extra hitter. I'll go ahead and take Moncada. Decent start to the season for him out there in Chicago. And then, I don't think that it's necessarily the right move every week to start another pitcher in this spot, because again, you're going to just really have that one game as an opportunity to score fantasy points. So if I do slot in Hunter Green there, and I think I will, I'm learning this as well. It is interesting to watch, or will be interesting to watch, the differences between playing that starting pitcher in your flex spot or going with another hitter. Some of these guys who have 4 games a week, potentially like 16 to 20 plate appearances. Is it, I guess that's just something I'm going to be looking at here as we progress through the season. Is it better to play a starting pitcher or a hitter in that flex spot? I've been droning on here for a good bit now, so we'll submit this team into the minors competition. We see it popping up in our upcoming tab there. Another thing I'll encourage you to do before we get out of here, use your training team. Once you have enough players, and I clearly don't at this point, once you have enough players, you can enter your remaining players into these training contests, and that's how you can gain experience points for the players that aren't playing that week. But again, I've got a few more players to go before I can even enter one training team. So we will continue to build throughout this MLB season. We're just getting started here. Game week 2. You've got about 2 hours to enter these lineups. So again, we will kind of adjust our schedule as well, getting these videos out in a timely manner, especially on these days when we've got early MLB lock on Sorare. So that'll do it for me. Again, sign up for Sorare using our link in the description of this video, and you will get a free limited card with the purchase of your first 5 cards on the Sorare primary marketplace. So I'll be back on Friday talking about game week 3 over this coming weekend. Looking forward to that. But until then, good luck in game week 2, and we'll see you on Friday.